Hello and welcome into the Bonefish Grill pregame show here on 57 Sports. I'm Rich Reynolds alongside Eric Rogers, and happy to bring you this one from Madison Memorial High School. Memorial, Sun Prairie, 1 versus 2 in the conference, although we're kind of used to seeing Memorial being the team on top. Right now at Sun Prairie, they got them by 2 games, and this streak that Madison Memorial has of winning the Big 8 Conference 14 years and running right now, definitely in jeopardy and could end here tonight.
Yeah, not totally out of the running for it. 2 games back of that Big 8 Conference standings, a championship, share or tie or win the conference outright for 14 straight years. That's on the line, as you alluded to. Some superstars on each team, so we'll head into the game thinking about Cade Ellingson and from Memorial, and we've got Jalen Johnson, 2 of the superstars, him from Sun Prairie. Guys are going to want to keep an eye on in this game, and we're going to see some superior talent in the Big 8 action tonight.
Jalen Johnson is a beast, and he leads the Cardinals, who are now 2nd in the state. That's their ranking, and why not? They're a powerhouse. They're not just beating teams, they're beating teams.
33.4 points per game over their last 5 is the margin of victory. Yeah, that's going to be one big hurdle to get over if you're the Spartans tonight.
Yeah, so they're going to have to come up big tonight if they want to stay alive in the conference and if they want to beat the Cardinals this evening. We'll talk to the 2 head coaches and a lot more as the Bonefish Grill pregame show continues right here on 57 Sports. Back on the Bonefish Grill pregame show right now as we have the head coach of the Sun Prairie Cardinals, Jeff Booz. And Coach, wow, you guys are on a 12-game win streak. What has contributed such a high level of play this season for you guys?
Well, first and foremost, we return a number of guys from last year that got good experience, so we're fortunate there. I think the second thing is we've gotten everybody back from injuries or their football experience, and now we're starting to be able to practice a little bit more and get things done that we want to do on the floor. So that's coming together. And it's just playing together, and getting all the bodies where we want them and doing what we need to do. So I think that has a lot to do with where we're at.
So you've got a lot of big bodies on the court, a lot of experience, like you said. A big moment here. How do you make sure the moment isn't too big for your guys with potentially a big step towards clinching the conference?
We don't talk about any of that kind of stuff. I think the most important piece is to have your game plan in place. They understand what they got to go. You got to go out and you got to execute both ends of the floor defensively and offensively. And I guess they take it from there, and hopefully that you're doing it better than what they're doing. That puts you in a position to be successful.
Yeah, you talk about, how well you guys are playing. You talk about some of the things that have contributed to it. This is the hurdle to get over, though. So like Eric was asking, is it a mental thing, though? Is it something where your guys say, you know what, this is Memorial. They've been the big dogs for so long, basically since these guys were little kids.
Well, I would say this much. They've been it for 14 years, but we shared the conference with them the last 2 years. I would say this much. These guys have been in big games, too. All right, so I'm very confident in them. I'm confident in what they do, and I'm confident that they're confident in themselves.
As well you should be. Coach, you got a nice-looking team. We're looking forward to seeing them tonight. Thank you so much for your time, as we will be back on the Bonefish Grill pregame show right here on 57 Sports. Back on the Bonefish Grill pregame show as we talk now with the head coach of Madison Memorial, Steve Collins. And Coach, you were quoted, I guess, after the Madison East game saying streaks are made to be broken. Not yet, though, right?
No,
right?
That's true. It's like I was telling somebody earlier today, it's like when you're getting close to retirement, everybody always asks, are you going to retire? Are you going to retire? I think I've been asked that question about the streak, no lie, 100 times. Yeah, I mean, everything's meant to come to an end, and I can't imagine a better program or a better team to possibly lose it to. So, we'll see how tonight goes, but they're a really good basketball team.
Well, Sun Prairie's got it. They've got some studs in their team. So do you. You guys won the first contest this year, but looking back at my notes, you guys haven't no one's swept the season series, regular season, since 2013-14. What does that say about your guys, this whole back and forth between Memorial and Sun Prairie?
Well, I think it means that Coach Booz and I know each other really, really, really well. So we've been in we're two of the senior coaches, so I think we kind of know what each other's move is going to be before they make it. So I think it's as much that. We've had very equal talent over the last handful of years, but yeah, I think it's just kind of a chess match between him and I a lot. So I got a couple wrinkles for today. We'll see if they work, but I don't know.
You know, Coach, I love following you on Facebook. One of the things that you were an opponent of was the shot clock in high school basketball.
Yeah.
Now, it's not going to happen, it looks
not.
like. Now, happy about that and why?
Two things. First of all, I think the jump ball should be banned. That's going to be my movement when I retire. Because I'm not sure why we jump the basketball at the beginning of the game. It's the only time we do it other than overtime. And it should just be alternating possession. So let's give Sun Prairie the ball to start, and let's go play. Because the officials are poor. But yes, the shot clock, I could talk for an hour on. The shot clock, the issue I have with the shot clock is I think it's going to make all the games similar. If you look at NBA and NCAA, they're all similar games. And I think what makes high school basketball unique is that some teams go slower and some teams go faster. So hopefully we'll be able to show that tonight.
Our shot clock, unfortunately, is out. Yep. So thank you so much. Good luck tonight, Coach. Appreciate your time as always. The Blowin' Smoke Tailgate Show coming up next right here on 57 Sports.
Hey folks, before we start our big time basketball game of the night, we're here at Blowin' Smoke Barbecue in Wanakee, and I'm standing next to owner Robert Bishop. How are you, Robert?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Good to see you.
Again.
Good to be back here. I always look forward to coming here because you have such great food, and you're going to give us a little bit of a taste of an appetizer that you offer. So what do we got today?
These are our jalapeno poppers.
Okay.
We make them from scratch.
Okay.
We take the jalapeno,
Yeah.
cut her in half,
Okay.
leave the stem on there.
Sure.
Got to de-seed it because we don't need that extra hotness.
Sure. Okay. The seeds add to the hotness then.
They do, but we've put in a chipotle,
Okay.
peppers with cream cheese blend
Sure.
back into these,
Okay.
and plain hot.
Okay. All right.
I can't even touch them really.
Really? All right.
Yep.
Yeah. I suppose you probably want to wash your hands after de-seeding and that
Yeah,
sort of
this
thing.
is,
So.
Very potent.
Sure.
Let's do a couple of them here.
So one of the things that and what is this?
This is our chipotle.
This is the
cream
chipotle.
cheese, right?
Okay.
And we just fill
Cream
them back up
cheese.
in there.
All right. You just fill them up and then add. Looks like you add some bacon
Yep,
too.
a little of our homemade bacon. It's maple bacon.
Awesome. Well, before we get to the game, I want to make sure that viewers know that, believe it or not, March Madness is coming up here.
Right.
It's going to be some Final Four tournaments. If you want to host a party at your house, at your home, this guy here can cater, and he's got, as you can see, some awesome food here. So
Yep, we do tons of catering.
Yep.
Um,
And it's the perfect food for that kind of get together. So
Right,
may
yeah.
I try one of these while you're kind
You
of
sure
doing some
can.
of that? All right. These are nice and warm. There
yep,
we go.
those already came out of the oven.
Oh, they're so good.
They're spicy. You need a glass of water, I'm sure.
Probably milk would be better.
I heard blue cheese is good for
Really?
cutting that heat.
Yeah, water I think makes it worse. So, well, these are awesome jalapeno poppers. If you want to get them here, bring yourself down to Blowin' Smoke Barbecue or give him a call, and he can bring them to you. Thanks so much,
You're
Robert.
very welcome.
Enjoy the rest of the game.
Thanks.
Welcome back to Big Time Basketball, Sun Prairie at Madison Memorial. And we have got your Madison No Fear Dentistry Fearless Student Award. And presenting that tonight on behalf of Madison No Fear Dentistry is Dr. Bob Holson.
At Madison No Fear Dentistry, we value our local communities and appreciate the opportunity to give back. We're here tonight to honor a student who encompasses some of those same beliefs and has gone above and beyond in her community involvement. So I'm proud to award the Fearless Student Award to Riette Thorns. Riette's a sophomore. She's a very hardworking student with incredible school spirit and a very positive attitude. She's a multi-sport athlete and has very strong leadership skills. So for all that, I'd like to present you with the Fearless Student Award. Congratulations.
So fantastic. Again, thanks again on behalf to Madison Memorial in selecting the student. Congratulations, Riyadh. And thank you to Madison No Fear Dentistry. And we'll be back with more big time basketball after the break.
As always, spectators are encouraged to support both teams and are expected to refrain from blaming their opponents or an official's decision. No derogatory remarks intended to taunt or harass will be tolerated. We hope that you enjoy tonight's competition and thank you for your continued positive fan support. Your official sportsmen team are neutral and have been licensed by Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association based on their proven ability to properly officiate competition at this level. And now, at this time, we would like you to please stand and remove your hats to honor America and those defending our freedom. Please join us for our national anthem.
That was the Midwest Family, or the Midwest Fine Jewelry National Anthem, as we are just about set for basketball here tonight as part of the A1 Furniture and Mattress Big Time Basketball Series. Madison Memorial hosting Sun Prairie as we take a look at the Rosen Nissan starting lineups right now for the second-rate team in Division I in the state of Wisconsin. And Eric, I tell you what, this is a good one. They only have one blemish on their record so far this season, and it's against the team they're playing tonight.
Yep, Madison Memorial ended up getting the better of Sun Prairie earlier in the season. It was Saturday, December 16th, where Memorial beat Sun Prairie 54-51. And that was a game on the road. Memorial got double-digit points from Cade Ellingson, Nick Carapreso, and Elliot Graves.
Yeah, never thought that that one game alone might decide the fate of the Big 8 Conference, but it very well might after a big loss by Madison Memorial to Madison East in their last outing. We'll talk a lot about that and more. It's just about time for the tip-off. That is next as you're watching Big Time Basketball on 57 Sports. Just about time for tip-off, and nearly a packed house right now as we get ready for it. Sun Prairie Memorial, sit back, relax, and watch this one, possibly the Big 8 Conference on the line once again between these two foes. And it is Sun Prairie coming away with the tip, and why not? We get our first look at Jalen Johnson, number 24, as he was the one winning that tip.
Jalen Johnson, a guy that Sun Prairie thought they were not going to have for a lot of the start of the season. He had a stress fracture in his left foot to start the season. They thought 10 weeks he'll be without Jalen Johnson. He ends up coming back after only missing 6 games.
Johnson missing on the perimeter on the three. We get a first look at the Memorial offense. And again, for Coach Collins, he builds his teams on defense, and offensively, they've struggled a bit this season.
Well, you see a lot of that. The Spartans are scoring 56.2 points per game and allowing 48 points, whereas Sun Prairie's scoring an average of 75 points per game and averaging 54.4 allowing.
A lot of youth out on the floor for Madison Memorial tonight. When we took a look at those Rosen Nissan starting lineups, 4 juniors out there, only 1 senior. So the future looking bright for Madison Memorial. They're competitive this year and should be even more so next year.
Well, what you're seeing already right now from Memorial is a lot of switching defensively and very active on the defensive side. And
they are good at it, as a putback no good by Taylor Jensen, but it is good by Jalen Johnson. He gets his first 2 of the night, the sophomore, averaging nearly 20 points per game.
Yeah, 19.5 points per game, which ranks second in the Big 8 Conference. And we will be talking, I'm sure, a lot about him tonight.
Our first foul of the game, and foul trouble could be something that'll be a determining factor here this evening. Again, a lot of big names in this game tonight. One of them just took the ball up. There's Elliott Grays. Grays tries to get it down low. That pass knocked away, and back come the Sun Prairie Cardinals up by 2. Marlon Ruffin, one of those big names I'm sure we'll be talking about a lot tonight. But there's Johnson. Soft touch in the lane doesn't go, and Memorial back down 2.
Well, number 34 for Sun Prairie on the other side of the court ended up coming away with the steal. That'd be Marty Stry. We might know his name a little bit, an outside linebacker for the football team. We called his name quite a few times this season. He was actually an honorable mention forward on the basketball team last year. So great on the gridiron and on the hardwood, and you're going to see a lot of them.
Yeah, you talk about guys that play multiple sports. Again, there's one right there in Elliott Grays. Grays in the papers today as he made his announcement for football.
National Signing Day, and a lot of these guys are committing for football, and he ends up going to the University of Chicago, or at least that's who he committed to.
Excellent school, long tradition there. 3 off the mark by Caden White, and it's Grays who comes away with it. Not a lot of scoring here in the early going, about what we expected. It was a low-scoring game back in December in that 54-51 Spartan victory.
Well, Elliott Grays, and you want to keep your eye on number 11. Not this number 11, but there you go, coast to coast.
He does indeed. Taylor Jansen, his first 2. Sun Prairie is up 4. By the way, we thank you for joining us. We are live on Facebook Live, as you saw. Jansen just a little bit shy of throwing it down, and a foul underneath. And it looks like Elliott Grays got fouled on the floor before the shot. Again, we're just getting started here this evening from Madison Memorial High School. Again, a packed house, great atmosphere. You can watch us on Facebook Live right now, and also we are on 57 Sports all weekend long with this tilt. And our thanks, of course, going out to A1 Furniture and Mattress. They are our presenting sponsor. You see their logo up in the left-hand corner. Thank you to Paul Canarella, everyone over at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
Another thing that you'll see on the cameras throughout the night is all the media and press, people taking notes, people taking video, photos, because they all want to get a look at these great senior classes, and not even all seniors, because Jalen Johnson, as we've mentioned, is sophomore.
Yeah, this is the game to be at tonight, maybe in the entire state. That's how big of a game, as we saw Jacoba Prairie check in for the first time here this evening. That's him with the ball right now. Prairie just a sophomore, so Memorial's got a talented super soft of their own. Gray's getting closely guarded out there, gives the ball up again. Good defense by both teams. You look at Coach Jeff Booz getting animated over there on the sidelines. He was fired up before the game today, I thought.
Well, both coaches were, and they both know each other. They know what this game means, and when you get a packed house like this, it's hard not to get excited.
It was a study in personalities, as a foul is going to be on Jalen Johnson, much to the delight of the Memorial faithful here this evening. You saw Coach Collins, he seemed very loose before the game. He was having fun, he was smiling. Coach Booth, all business before the game tonight.
It's a difference in coaches, and maybe part of that is because, as you heard from Coach Collins, they almost conceded the 14 straight shared or outright Big 8 titles. And I mean, maybe you tip your hat a little bit to what Sun Prairie has done this year, and you say, hey, we've been on top of the mountain long enough, and it's not always about us.
Looking at the schedule, though, it's not over yet. If Memorial wins here this evening, there is a chance that they could still end up tied for the conference by the time the season is out. Looking at their schedule, it looks like they got a good chance of winning out. Sun Prairie's got a tough game right at the end of the season. They're going to be at Madison La Follette. La Follette is having one heck of a year this year right now at 11-3 in the conference.
Well, not only that, but they have a non-conference game against Bayport. That's at home in Sun Prairie, but a 12-2 team right now, so by no means will that be an easy game.
That'll be interesting to see, especially to see how they would match up come tournament time, as 15-footer is no good as it was chucked up there by Cade Ellingson. Ellingson, the leading scorer for the Spartans, just shy of 15 points per game.
Well, that's good enough for 9th in the conference. Listing his bio at the team website, they say he's best when shooting off the dribble, so watch some of number 4 here this evening.
Johnson currently off the floor. 2 early fouls puts the sophomore in foul trouble. Sun Prairie looking a little bit different out there right now without him, and really struggling to get a shot off. Actually, in watching this set here, as Sun Prairie turns the ball over, you see great defense by Memorial. I'm always shocked that Coach Collins has been such an opponent of the shot clock. His defense would benefit so much from having the shot clock in state play.
Interesting to note, and we're going to see how that ends up factoring into this ball game, and we're already seeing some pressure, full court pressure from Sun Prairie.
Memorial across the timeline. They'll set up right now, still looking for their first points of the game, and we are 5.5 minutes into this tilt tonight. Down low, Ellingson in the lane, turnaround, no good, putback is, and it goes to Elliott Grays, and finally the Spartans are on the board.
Elliott Grays, as we mentioned, University of Chicago, that's where he'll be heading.
Good stuff for Mr. Gray. Speaking of good stuff, we have our first sideline report of the evening. Jessa standing by with that one. Take it away.
Thank you, Rich and Eric. We're going to take a quick break here at the beginning of the game with a Mike Canati courtside report. I'm here with the Palms. They are performing during halftime. I've got head coach and assistant head coach Laura and Tiara, and we're going to talk to some students as well. Thanks for being with us today. Now, I'm excited to see the performance, but I know there's a lot of practice and work that goes into it. Let's talk a little bit about what you guys do to prepare.
Absolutely. These girls work hard all year round. During the school year, they're practicing 3 days a week, and during the summer, they're practicing Monday through Friday. So there's definitely a lot of hard work and dedication that goes into every performance that you see.
So exciting. So stick around for the halftime. That'll be fun to see. I know you guys are proud of a really young team. There's not a lot of seniors, not a lot of seniority here. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, that's correct. So we have one senior on the team, Erin, who led us throughout the year and has been on it for 4 years. We will miss her greatly, but she's the only one we're losing. So we are really going to be a strong team of dancers next year, and we're really excited.
So exciting. Lots to look forward to. I've got Maddie and Haley here. What's your favorite part about being part of the Palms?
I just really love how close we all are. We can come to each other for anything, and coming to practice is just a really good stress relief from everything else in life, and we can have so much fun while working hard at the same time.
I love it. You bet. How about you, Haley?
I like how we're always supportive of each other in and out of practice, and how we treat each other as a family.
A team of lots of strength and a young team, so we'll look forward to what they have to come in the coming years. But right now we're going to look forward to halftime. Thanks to Mike Canati for the courtside report. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Jessa. And by the way, speaking of sideline reports, I know one is going to be coming up with Brian Olson. He is from Dale's Heating and Air Conditioning, putting your comfort first, and he put mine first. In fact, Brian has fixed my furnace twice so far this winter season, and a big thanks to him. Meanwhile, Ian Brown to the line, trying to get the three-point play the old-fashioned way, and it is indeed a zoop 3-point play, and Memorial is within 2.
Well, Ian Brown averaging 8.7 points per game, and like you said, doing it the old-fashioned hard way. And look at this, we got a 2-point game, and we're starting to chug along here.
You know, one of the things is down low there, Ian Brown or Elliott Grace, they've been able to score in the paint. They've been able to do it with Jalen Johnson out of the game. That has definitely helped. Triple on the way, no good, but a good board. Pulled down by Stray, who gets blocked, and it's slapped out of bounds. It's still going to belong to Sun Prairie, but speaking of interior defense, we are seeing it in spades right now from Memorial, and that was Amari Howard.
We had Amari Howard, we had Yakuba Traore, if I'm pronouncing that right, did it a couple possessions ago. So Memorial, like you mentioned, Rich, I mean, this defense has been strong, and that's, you know, to complement what Sun Prairie's done defensively with Marty Stry there, number 34, who's thought he was going to get the ball there.
Turnaround jumper, 15-footer, no good. Nothing but white jerseys to gobble up the board. And back comes Memorial. By the way, all of our sideline reports tonight brought to us by Mike Canati and Keller Williams. So thank you to Mike Canati, your realtor for life.
So Steve Collins, coach of Madison Memorial, in his 20th year, we've mentioned the streak for conference titles. But in response to that streak, I know he told us something similar, but he said the similar things to the State Journal.
We'll talk more about it when we get back. It's a Monona Bank timeout. We'll be back for this one. Good one so far. Sun Prairie up 2 on 57 Sports. If you were around for the Bonefish Grill pregame show, you probably also caught the Blow and Smoke Barbecue tailgating show. Blow and Smoke Barbecue in Wanakee, great dining service and catering for parties large and small. Kansas City Barbecue, straight from me to you. Alongside Eric Rogers, I'm Rich Reynolds. We are courtside here. Sun Prairie up 7-5, looking to put a stranglehold on the Big 8 Conference. You were talking about the streak right before we went to break.
Yes, Steve Collins for Madison Memorial, 14 straight years he's led the Spartans to either a win or a share of the Big 8 title. And right now, trying to keep that hope alive as Marty Stry grabs the rebound for Sun Prairie.
Carapreso misses the front end of a 1-and-1. Foul trouble for the Cardinals so far. Couple fouls on Jayla Johnson. We'll see how that's going to play out for the game. Johnson, a super sophomore, tell you what, 6'8", only a sophomore, and already getting looks from big-time colleges.
Already had offers from Duke, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Marquette, North Carolina, Purdue, West Virginia, and Wisconsin.
He is spoiled for choice on any one of those. I mean, that is a fantastic lineup to play at, so good for him as this is Ruffin now looking for his first 2 instead. A nice dish down low as he'll get the dime instead, and Sun Prairie now is up 4 after the basket by Hale.
So Delaware Hale ends up getting the basket, 7.8 points per game. That's tied for 35th in the conference.
Sun Prairie up 4 with the ball. Schaefer dribbling out on the perimeter, out to Stray. As Sun Prairie swings it around, triple on the way, no good. The ball bounced around. Look at Stray diving for it, calls for a timeout, and he gets it. Well done by the Cardinals there. They hold on to the ball. We're going to hold on to a sideline report right now as we're going to bounce it down to Ellen.
Thanks, guys. We've got another Mike Canati courtside report. And with me tonight, I have Ty and Owen. They're Madison Memorial seniors. Thank you guys for taking a second away from the student section to chat with us tonight. You guys have a really big crowd, and it's a sea of white and gold. So I want to know, what was tonight's theme? What was the inspiration?
Well, the first thing, it was white out, and then we went iced out with the gold and everything. So we had to come out and stun a little bit. That's all.
I love that, the iced out, the white out and the iced out. That's awesome. And you guys are both seniors. What has it been like this basketball season? Obviously, your last basketball season at this school.
Yeah, last basketball season was obviously so strong. I think that, we did lose a lot of strong seniors, but these guys have really come out and done a good job this year so far.
Absolutely. And now as seniors, you kind of have a responsibility in the student section to keep people fired up. How do you guys do that throughout the game?
As this
Me and Gusty over there, we get it going. We have a lot of chants like ready to go. We talk about it before each possession and everything, and we get it lit. So we also have the sports themes. Shout out JMM Sports Themes. Follow us on Twitter and Snapchat.
I love it. I love the school spirit. Again, Ty and Owen with Madison Memorial Seniors. Thank you guys for being with us. This has been a Mike Canati Courtside Report.
Boy, how apropos is the ice out theme that they have here this evening. The weather has been horrible. By the way, if you end up in the ditch, don't despair. Just call Prairie Land Towing at 8774. Tow now to your phone. That's right now. Prairie Land Towing, a service you can trust.
That's a professional name drop right there. Well, you know what? I applaud you. That's
the king of the segues. That's what you got to do.
So Marlon Ruffin from Sun Prairie, number 44, has yet to score so far, even though his partner in crime, Jalen Johnson, has been out of the ball game with a couple of fouls.
Good matchup with Elliott Grays right on Ruffin so far this evening. But again, it's hard to find a quality shot if you are the Sun Prairie Cardinals. They get a shot up now, but that doesn't fall, and back come the Spartans down by 4. So what we're really seeing, I think, right now is a battle of wills defensively, and that defense is keeping Memorial in this game.
Oh, absolutely. I was going to say, that's going to be what, if Sun Prairie loses this game, it's because of great defense by Memorial.
Into the lane goes Ellingson. His runner, no good. That looked a little bit awkward, and then a foul coming up away from the ball, and that is going to be called. Let's see, I'm on the wrong page here. That's Jack Crumbach. As Sun Prairie again up by 4 here in the early going tonight. A little bit later on, you'll be able to see our offensive MVP. It is brought to you by Premier Couture of Cambridge, Premier Couture Bridal and Prom Boutique, because the only thing you'll love more than your Premier Couture dress is your story about finding it.
Well, we've talked so much about Jalen Johnson, not so much about Marlon Ruffin, number 44 for Sun Prairie. He's averaging 18.1 points per game, which is good enough for 5th in the conference.
Schaefer three-pointer will not go. Hale with the rebound, put back, no, but a foul. And Delaware Hale, with one of the great names you'll ever encounter in sports, heads to the charity stripe.
So he's looking for his 3rd point of the ball game.
Take a good look at Hale right there as his free throw no good. By the way, we would like to thank University Coin and Jewelry. For bigger diamonds at better prices, stop by University Coin and Jewelry in Middleton. A little bit later on tonight, we're also going to be doing the plays of the game. They are brought to us by Lalo's Mexican Restaurant, over-the-border flavors on University Ave.
Missed both of those free throws.
Hale couldn't put him down, but Sun Prairie maintains possession. Seems like early on, too, what we have seen is a lot of those 50-50 balls where they're diving for him or hustling for him. The Cardinals right now are the ones that are winning that battle.
Well, the Cardinals led by Coach Jeff Booz, who's got 2 conference championships under his belt. 4 conference championships. 4 total championships.
And there's Coach Booz right there. And again, he was fired up this evening when we talked to him. He does not want you to forget, hey, his team has been in big games too. His team has played at the top level. His team has shared the conference title the last 2 years, and he expects his team to do well here tonight. Wide open 3 on the way for Schaefer. A little bit short, will not go, but a foul will keep it right here with the Cardinals.
Well, Jeff Booz, not only a great coach with some great players, but showing his players it's more about life than just basketball. Just last October, Coach Booz was awarded the Eli Krogan Humanitarian and Service Award from the WBCA.
Excellent stuff, man. 9-5 our score on the Steve Schuster scoreboard, providing you a truly moving experience, specializing in Sun Prairie and DeForest. It's Steve Schuster Remax.
Well, on this possession right now, You're seeing a lot of black jerseys along the perimeter, and that has a lot to do with what the Spartans have been able to do on defense.
Stray off the mark. You know, the Cardinals got a couple of good looks that time from three-point land. Could not get either to fall right now. Memorial looking to answer back. They get it down low, and they get the two from Prairie. Good ball movement that time by the Spartans. Nets a couple of points as we take a look at the Bachman Pools, Spas, and Saunas replay.
Well, that was well done. You open it up, and you hand it right off to Prairie, who gets his first bucket of the night, 11.7 points per game.
Three-pointer up, that's not going to go either. Sun Prairie ice cold from beyond the arc so far here tonight. And now a turnover, and Memorial's defense trying to set up their offense right now.
Well, Sun Prairie could be in trouble because they have been stale ever since Jalen Johnson left the court.
Yeah, without the threat of Johnson out there right now, it has been tough for the Cardinals to find quality shots, but they've been doing a good job defensively as they force another turnover right now. Let's step aside as we have another sideline report. Here's Jessa.
Rich and Eric, thank you. What a game. We're going to take a break here for a Mike Canati courtside report. I've got Mike Canati himself joining us. Yeah, the man in person. I want to talk to you a little bit about the real estate market. It's early on in the season. I'm sure buyers are starting to come out. Talk to us about what you're seeing.
Yeah, you know, it used to be in real estate, you kind of considered Super Bowl Sunday was kind of the start of the real estate year. But really you're seeing nowadays that it's really just starting much earlier than that. It's kind of like, you know, Black Friday triggered the holiday season, and Super Bowl Sunday used to trigger the real estate season, but kind of like the early sales for Black Friday, the early sales for real estate are starting now.
Everything moves faster and faster, and I'm sure one of the challenges you have on your plate is as you get busier and more clients, you got to really manage your time. So talk to us about how you do that.
Yeah, so, you know, I try to limit myself to like 5 or 6 clients at a time, just so I have the ability to really give them the dedication that they need to make it an effective transaction for them.
Well, there's quite the game going on beside us. We're in split screen right now. I know you like to support youth athletics. Tell us a little bit about why.
Yeah, well, you know, I love it. You know, for me as a kid, sports were always a great outlet. You know, I work with children, I work with kids and coach them in basketball, and it's just great experience giving back to the community and just seeing the lights in the kids' eyes turn on when they start to grab the concepts.
Well, we sure do appreciate it. I hope you show your support for Mike Canati next time you're in the market for a home or looking to sell. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
We'll get back to the guys. Thanks.
And thank you, Jessa. Meanwhile, we are tied 9-9. Yes, it is 9-9, and we're nearly at halftime. Very low-scoring game, defensive battle so far here tonight.
Well, this will absolutely favor the Spartans in this ball game, and without Jalen Johnson, even when you got a guy like Delaware Hale in the game, what is he listed at? I mean, this guy is a monster. At a sophomore at 6'5", he's getting blocked.
Caden White all alone, throws it down. Great defense by the Cardinals, leads to an easy hoop, and Coach Collins does not like it at all.
Well, that would be the spark the Cardinals needed in this ball game.
Prairie decides to put it in back at the other end. The offense now starting to pick it up a little bit, tied at 11.
We're trading buckets, and you're starting to feel the pace pick up here.
Both fan bases fired up for this one here tonight. Possibly the Big 8 title in the balance. Boy, would the Cardinals like to win that thing outright. That hasn't happened, that someone's won it outright in 14 years. So again, this could be huge, especially if they can get it done on Memorial's home court.
So I'm trying to find the advantages here for Madison Memorial defensively. They switch Ian Brown onto Marlon Ruff, and he comes away with the turnover.
Ellingson, skip pass across the top. As you take a look at Coach Collins right now, and he is into this game, and why not? As a foul now away from the ball. 11-11 is our score. Our thanks to Rosen Nissan, who brought us our starting lineups tonight. Take a spin in the new Nissan Rogue Sport today. Rosen Nissan of Madison, putting our community first. As heading to the line right now is Amari Howard. as he is looking for his first points of the night.
Amari Howard had that big swat earlier in the first half, and a big reason why this game is tied.
Great shot right there, as both teams have struggled mightily from the free throw line so far here tonight, and I think that is putting it mildly. You wonder how much nerves plays into something like that.
Well, Coach Booz didn't seem too fazed by that. We asked him that in the pregame show about, is this too big of a moment for some of your guys to, with their youth? And he said, look, I mean, we prepared for this. We played tough teams all year, and these guys are ready for this moment. They're going to be tested.
Another Sun Prairie turnover as Memorial with the ball, looking for their first lead of the night. Inside of 2 minutes for the first half, it's Ellingson with the ball. So far tonight, I would have to say Memorial, even though they haven't scored a lot of points, ball movement has been good and has led to a couple easy buckets.
Well, and I hate to be a broken record, but without Jalen Johnson, this Sun Prairie team just doesn't look as energetic, and they sure had that one big play where you had Taylor Jansen dunking the ball, but it was answered right away by Kara Prairie on the other end, and right now we've seen Memorial take that momentum right back.
What an advantage, though, so far with Jalen Johnson in early foul trouble, because the game has been so close. Either Sun Prairie's had the lead or they've been tied. They've been allowed to rest Jalen Johnson this whole time. We might not see him now until the second half, and for Coach Booz, he doesn't have to play him.
Well, yeah, that's a good point, because as long as you're still in the ball game, at any point you're going to have a pair of fresh legs come into that ball game. Doesn't do a lot for all the media people here to see him right now, but it's more about getting that win, and I'm sure he doesn't care either.
Great pass down low as it goes to Jack Krumbach, his first two, and Krumbach's two gives the Spartans a lead by 2.
So the Spartans nab that lead, and now Sun Prairie going to try to answer.
Cardinals might be playing for one. That's how this game has been going. Long possessions, a lot of tough defense. There has been a slew of turnovers both teams has made into the lane, and Jansen blocked once again. Boy, you take it into the paint, it's at your own risk, but taking that risk is Marty Strain. It pays off to tie the game at 13.
Well, in that entire possession, you saw number 44 in the corner. That'd be Marlon Ruffin just calling for the ball, but Memorial wasn't even guarding him. They knew he was there, and they said, we're going to go for the bucket inside.
Steal there as the ball was poked away from Ellingson, and then a foul, and a good foul right there, as that would have been an easy deuce for Sun Prairie with a 2-on-1 break. As it stands, looks like they will have to inbound the ball right now. 6.5, still plenty of time to get a shot off. When we go to halftime, it will be the ladies who are going to take it away once again. Ellen and Jessa standing by for our halftime show. And again, that's going to be coming up in just a sec here. In fact, 2.1 seconds as another whistle, and
why do you
we'll
foul
see what
there
that is. Yeah, another foul. I guess they had one to give.
So 2.1, I think you're going to go to number 44 here, but now they don't have time to.
Long shot, well short, and that'll do it for the half. 13-13 is our score at halftime, and it is time for the halftime show. The ladies standing by, Ellen and Jessa. Here we go.
All right, we are gearing up for a halftime show thanks to Dale's Heating and Air. Boy, what a first half. My gosh.
Great first half of the game.
Can't wait for our halftime show. It's going to be a good one, Ellen.
It is. We're going to see a performance tonight by the Palms team. We're also going to be talking with the principal here at Memorial, plus a special interview exclusive with Bruce the Spartan.
That might be my favorite part. That's so much fun. I love it. We're going to have lots of fun. The Palms are performing, lots of great interviews. It's all right here on the Dale's Heating and Air halftime report. We'll be right back with big time basketball. Stay with us.
basketball, we've got your Dale's Heating and Air halftime show. And with us now, we have Dale's Heating and Air. We have Brian and Olivia. Brian, you're the owner. Olivia, you're like the face of Dale's Heating and Air. So it's a very important job. Thank you so much for being here. Tell us a little bit about what you do and why it's important for you to support community athletics.
First off, it's nice to get into the community and watch these kids enjoying playing basketball. As for what we do, we're a full-service heating and air conditioning shop serving Madison area, Dane County.
Very important, especially this time of year. We've had a lot of really cold days, so this is the guy to give a call. Again, Brian and Olivia, thank you so much. It's been great to have you. And pretty soon we'll probably see you up here doing this job. Is that right? I think so. This has been your Dale's Heating and Air halftime show, and we'll be back with more right after the break.
All right, we're enjoying ourselves during halftime here thanks to Dale's Heating and Air. I'm catching up with the big guy here at Memorial High School. It's Jay Affelt. And I want to take a little bit of a break from athletics for a minute and talk academics. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on here at the school.
Yeah, so once we turn the calendar year, it's time to wrap up our first semester. And so we had about a week and a half of classes right after winter break, and then we took our final exams. So it was kind of a stressful time for our freshmen as they take their first round through like those 90-minute exams. When second semester starts, most of our students switch a couple classes around and they have new relationships to build, new routines to learn in classrooms. But especially now as we kind of get into like winter transitioning to spring, we're getting our juniors ready for the ACT.
Never a dull moment here between athletes and academics. You've got all sorts of things going on, but ACTs are an important time for the students. Let's talk a little bit about the prep and what you're doing.
Yeah, so of course everything we do kind of across the curriculum helps our students develop the knowledge and skills that they need for what lies beyond high school. ACT is a measure that kind of really helps them understand where they are in that transition and their preparedness for what lies after high school. And so, you know, lots of practice, not just necessarily in real specific details and facts, but more just about knowledge and being able to work their way through a passage of text and really pull what the author's looking for. Being able to, you know, really develop kind of their own voice and their own identity is what is required. So,
from transitioning into high school to transitioning out and everything in between, you guys are busy. I know you stay busy, Jay. Thanks for taking a minute with us here at the game. We appreciate it.
Thank you too.
Thanks to Dale's Heating and Air. We'll be right back after the game.
Dale's Heating and Air halftime show. We have got some Sun Prairie seniors with us now. We have Deshaun and Davis. Thank you guys for taking a break from the student section. You guys also have a pretty big crowd tonight. It's competing with Madison Memorial. You guys travel well. What went behind getting so much support for tonight's game?
I figured that, you know, it's our team and we want to come out with a huge bang all the time. You know, we always want to support our team because they need it to win. And I feel like us Cardinals, we're all together like that, so it didn't really take much. All we know, we just said, show up, be here, be loud, and be proud.
I love that, and you guys are showing a lot of school spirit tonight. You're doing the jersey theme, it looks like. What went behind picking tonight's theme?
Well, we asked the Alex Schaefer what the theme should be tonight, and he said he wanted it to be jersey because it was a big game, and we usually wait for jersey for a big game, so.
I love it. It sounds like an important guy. Makes a lot of important decisions.
Really important.
Awesome stuff. Well, again, Sun Prairie seniors, thank you guys for taking some time with us. Best of luck the rest of the game, and we'll head back to the game.
Along with our very own Eric Rogers, I'm Rich Reynolds, courtside Madison Memorial High School. A1 Furniture and Mattress, big-time basketball. And the first half, I think right where Memorial might want Sun Prairie, it was a defensive battle in half number one.
Well, it certainly wasn't hard to add up the scores at halftime. Your leading scorer on each team has 4 points. It's a game that, you know, I was looking at the stats from these teams' last games. I mean, it's games where I think both teams are like, all right, we're, you know, at least Madison Memorial has realized we don't need to have these games go 70-63 like our last game. They lost to East. So their strategy coming in, I'm sure, over the last week, they've had a week to think about this game is, hey, if we just play great defense, get a couple good looks on offense, I mean, that's our best strategy to win.
Absolutely. Sun Prairie starting the second half with Jalen Johnson back on the floor. Johnson in foul trouble in the first half. Had 2 fouls, so he only ended up with 2 points. Johnson, by the way, averaging nearly 20 points per game.
He'll have some work to do in the second half if he wants to reach that number, but fresh legs, no doubt.
Crowd coming to life here as well. They're in full throat at Memorial tonight, trying to hold on to that 14-year conference winning streak. Ellingson into the lane. He likes living there. Kicks it out. Three-pointer on the way. No good. But on the weak side, it's Ellingson. Nice pass down low, but nowhere to go underneath. And it turns back over to the Cardinals as Ruffin is able to draw a foul. And I tell you what, Marlon Ruffin right now would like to get his game going. He was shut out in the first half.
Well, how about Jalen Johnson on the other end? I don't know if he actually tried to block because he never jumped. He just towered over the offensive player for Memorial and let his hands do all the work.
Ruffin misses from the free throw line just like everyone else here tonight. As you take a look at Coach Collins, a little bit distressed here in the early going of half number 2. Ruffin's second free throw. That one is good. Just our second free throw made tonight out of 8 attempts so far. So Marlon Ruffin has 1. Johnson has 2. That's 3 points in the game together. They average almost 40 points per game. Elliott Gray's way off the mark. Brick City there for the senior.
I think that's one of those shots where you're so wide open, you get a little antsy. You say, I've never been this open in my life, and just way too much energy and too strong.
Taking a good look now at the Memorial defense, and again, Sun Prairie. We'll see how they attack the defense here in the second half and what adjustments that Coach Booz was able to make at halftime. One thing that struck me was what Coach Collins said during the pregame show as Ruffin's 3 is a soup 3 as Ruffin connects from beyond the arc. All of a sudden, he has 4 points, and Sun Prairie has themselves a 4-point lead.
Well, that'll tie any of your leading scorers in this game, so it didn't take too much effort for Ruffin to get his game going.
Ellingson shot no good on the fadeaway. Here comes Johnson back the other way quickly as Ruffin's starting to feel it. He left that one, though, well short. Now, going back to what I was saying about Coach Collins, what he said is he takes a quick 20-second timeout, and it is a Monona Bank timeout. Coach Collins was talking about how much he and Coach Booz know each other. We'll talk more about that when we get back. Monona Bank timeout, 17-13, Sun Prairie here on 57 Sports. Monona Bank, locally grown, just like your money. They're not just in your neighborhood, they're your neighbors. Monona Bank. So we were talking about right before going to the break, the familiarity that Coach Collins right there has with Coach Booz on the other, courtside line over there. And so to me, I wonder what kind of adjustments you actually can make when you've been adjusting against each other for the last 10 years.
Well, I'm sure, you have Steve Collins who says, all right, well, I know I'm going to see a lot of Jalen Johnson who ends up getting the ball
Speaking
right
of
there.
Jalen Johnson, he wanted to throw that one down, ain't going to count with a whistle. But going back to your point, Eric.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Johnson's going to be back in the game, and you have to account for that. If you're Coach Booz, you know that Coach Collins knows that, so that's obviously part of your game plan, and you have to try and get Memorial out of that zone and take advantage of the open looks when you have it.
We'll see how Memorial is going to answer this little 4-0 Sun Prairie run to start our second half. Sun Prairie continues with a good defense. Ruffin with the right hand throw down, and then he's got some smack talk as well as he will go to the line to try and complete a Zoop three-point play, and this gym right now is up for grabs.
And Steve
Look at Coach Collins. Holy cow. And we got technicals, we got mayhem.
If this doesn't get your blood boiling, check your pulse.
Coach Collins definitely excited. The fan base is excited. Coach Booz looking as determined and engaged as ever. Wow, look at that fired up look from Coach Steve Collins.
we're seeing a lot of that height advantage, the length of Sun Prairie. They are on a tear right now as you're seeing a 6-0 run out of the break. And man, Marlon Ruffin, that's as big of a play as we've seen this season.
Here's the replay. You see the dunk, and then right after the dunk, it was Ruffin who was talking a lot of smack right after that. And I know in high school basketball, they don't go for a lot of that. This isn't the
shut
NBA.
Me out in the first half. Watch this.
He threw it down, and then, a great dunk, great athleticism from Ruffin. But then he was fired up. He might have let the moment get the best of him, as you see the throwdown again. But it was right after that where he started yelling at a player, and I think that's what got this whole hullabaloo going.
Well, you see that at different levels, they'll kind of let that stuff go. But because the WIAA, if you can hear me, woo! The WIAA wants sportsmanship to be at the forefront of their game, and rightly so at this level. But I'm going to let the noise carry us.
Absolutely. Wow. What an atmosphere here at Memorial. Both fan bases, again, fired up in what is the game of the night right now, I'm sure, in the state of Wisconsin. Lots of media here. We're glad to be a part of it. And as always, our thanks to A1 Furniture and Mattress for allowing us to be a part of it. As after all of this, I do believe we are going to see Marlon Ruffin go to the line and shoot a free throw.
Well, because he was fouled, and yet he also is guilty of getting a technical foul, which then means you would think Memorial should get one as well.
I would think, though, and this is what started it all, come on, let's get this game moving, though. This is a little too much right now and a little too long. The longer this goes, the harder the feelings are going to get.
Well, think about this. There has been nothing like this. The energy level in this game has been pretty mellow, and you finally get a big explosive play like that, and I think the officials were taken by surprise by all of it, and now they have to get together.
And Coach Collins right now, he just threw his clipboard. He is mad as all heck, and I'm guessing, because we don't know what's going on at this point, if there was no technical foul called, that's what he's upset about. I thought there was a T in there somewhere, but according to Coach Collins' reaction, I'm not sure there was.
Well, and the fact that he doesn't have a clipboard in his hands anymore, I'm not sure what that says about his status in this ball game. So as we're waiting for the officials to kind of organize here and decide what they want to do after the technical.
While we are waiting, we want to say thank you to Madison No Fear Dentistry. They brought us the Fearless Student Award. Madison No Fear Dentistry, great experiences, beautiful smiles. Also, our pregame sponsor, Bonefish Grill. Wednesday nights are $6 Bang Bang Shrimp. Everyone's a winner at Bonefish Grill, the fresh fish experts.
Well, Marlon Ruffin is going to head to the line as we
are.
actually go on camera and welcome you into our broadcast booth, as it were.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we take a look at what these teams did coming into the season. Sun Prairie ranked number 2 coming into the year before the Jalen Johnson foot injury. They've overcome all of that and got right back in it.
Ruffin able to get a free throw here. I'm not sure how many he's getting. We're just going to go ahead and play along as we are not sure what the calls are. So he might be, he's shooting one for sure, gets the second one. I don't know why he's shooting this many, but okay. I wish I had a better answer for you.
We saw Coach Collins earlier, after he threw the clipboard, put his fingers up and said 2. So I'm not sure why Ruffin gets to shoot 3. So I'm not sure if there was 2 technicals against Memorial, which then the and 1 plus the 2 technicals might be where
this is where, it would have been nice if the referees had a microphone or would let the PA announcer know what is going on,
well,
so
now
that we
this
could
game
all
has
know.
Turned around to a 9-point Sun Prairie lead, and he's still looking for an explanation.
And Coach Collins incensed, and I don't blame him. I'm not sure what is happening here. I thought if there was going to be a technical call that it was going to be against Ruffin and against the Cardinals. Instead, it goes against Madison Memorial. And right now, that's put them in quite the hole. A 9-0 run to start the second half. We were tied at 13 at halftime, and so the Cardinals now on a 9-0 run and the ball with all the momentum in the world right now.
Man, what a tough place to be in if you're the Spartans. You have to try and calm yourself down, get back to playing basketball after all of that nonsense, and try to dig yourself out of this hole.
This also, by the way, a 9-0 Marlon Ruffin run as he has scored all 9 points, and he is still the only scorer here in the second half. Jalen Johnson, though, he wants to get in on the act, and he does. His 4th point of the night, and this lead now is double digits for the Cardinals.
Well, I thought coming into this ball game was going to be Jalen Johnson's night.
Ian Brown gets one back the other way. Memorial finally gets on the scoreboard here in the second half. By the way, our 3- and 4-point plays brought to us by Zoop Middleton. In a hurry for a tasty quality meal, try Zoop Middleton Wednesday nights. Kids eat free. Good offensive rebound. Put back, swatted away once again. Tell you what, you just do not go up inside against the Memorial Spartans. All the way back the other way. Offensive goaltending. Kara Preso is going to get a pair here as the offensive goaltend. And this crowd right now is off the hook. They're just waiting for any little thing to explode.
Well, actually, I think they end up getting Marlon Ruffin for goaltending as the ball was on its way down. So the basket does count.
So now a 7-point game and a 4-0 mini run by the Spartans to get them back in it here.
Well, if you like the action in the first half, you hate what's going on right now. This game has completely turned around.
Wow, sweet move. 12-foot turnaround by Jalen Johnson. That's a sophomore? Holy crap, is that a nice move?
That might be why some D1 schools have interest in him.
Absolutely, that is beautiful and a high-level move there by Jalen Johnson. Great footwork. 3-pointer on the way. Memorial cold, both teams. Ice cold from the outside as Marlon Ruffin lost the handle on it, and I think what he was looking at was a 2-1 break and what he was going to do with the ball.
Well, a fun little side note here, Rich, for Jalen Johnson. His dad is actually the assistant coach on the JV team who we just saw before this game got underway. So I'm sure he gets a lot of extra practice at home and extra tips to help him be at the level he's at right now.
And you got to be coachable, and it looks like he is. By the way, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, it is courtesy of Sugar River Pizza. Sugar River Pizza, hometown delicious. Kara Preso down low, gets it to go. He now has 8 points in the game, and it's back right now to a 7-point lead as we'll go to a sideline report. Guess we're not there yet. Hold on 1 second. I thought I missed it in all of this chaos. So here's Johnson, and he is fouled. Kara Preso knocks him out of bounds. Let's go to that sideline report right now. Just standing by with this one.
Well, it's tough to take a break from this game. It's been a lot of action, but when you get Jeremy Schlitz, the athletic director for Memorial, it's time to take a Mike Canati courtside report. Thanks for taking a minute with us here.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Always nice to see you. Let's talk about this basketball team and what a win would mean for these guys.
Yeah, you know, they're trying to keep a tradition and a legacy alive. That's, you know, they've got 14 straight conference championships kind of behind them, and it's neat. You know, I was coach previous to this gig, and it's kind of neat to see some of the kids that are back in the stands and the tradition that the program has.
Boy, you bet. We've sure enjoyed ourselves here tonight so far. There's lots more to come. Let's talk a little bit about other athletics. Any highlights you want to share with us tonight?
Yeah, you know, timely, we've got another team that's had a lot of success lately, our swim team, and state meets coming up for them, and we're hoping they can keep a streak of 17 straight, either first or second places in the state alive this year.
Wow, lots going on for you, I know. We're going to let you get back to the game. We're going to do the same, but thanks for taking a minute with us, Jeremy.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks to Mike Canati for the courtside report.
You know, how many blocks is that tonight for Amari Howard?
Oh, for him, too. Amari Howard has 2. And then I count Yakuba Traore has a couple as well. So 4 blocks that I'm counting. Those big boys from Memorial.
They do not like the ball getting inside against them, as they have swatted it away like so many flies over a summer barbecue. And right now, a foul's going to go and give the Cardinals the ball.
Well, I got to give credit to the Spartans right here. They could have kind of folded up here after that big 9-0 run, but they've answered and they've stuck with it in this ball game. And if they can get a stop here, you might see the Spartans close this gap, and the effort is certainly there.
Howard pokes that one away, and you got to wonder if Memorial wins the game, if Amari Howard might not be the defensive MVP. It's brought to us by Little Strokes Swim Academy. Little Strokes Swim Academy in Waunakee offers swimming lessons for all ages. Little Strokes, big difference. Great crowd shot right there.
Have you done this before with those transitions into the into the live reads?
You might have think I've broadcasted games before. It's one or two.
Who knows?
Up 7 with the ball. The Cardinals get it down to Johnson. Johnson in the lane's going to go over Howard. Fadeaway, no good. Again, good defense, though, by Memorial, as Howard was able to force Johnson to fade away.
Memorial hasn't been afraid to take on big number 24 and big number 44, triple teaming them at times and being not afraid to let that happen and have other options open.
Carapreso out on the perimeter. He has 8 so far in the game. Memorial needs to find someone that they can rely on to get some points right now, as they're struggling to find points, down by 7. Maybe it's Ellingson. Ellingson has been quiet tonight, as the junior only has 2, but he is the leading scorer for the Spartans. As a turnover, once again, it'll be Cardinal ball. And before we see them on offense, let's send it down to Ellen and Jessa standing by with a sideline report.
You guys taking another Mike Canati courtside report. Look who we found.
I'm very excited.
I have
about
a feeling
this.
you're having fun tonight. Are you having fun?
I think he is. Now, I want to know, Bruce, what is your go-to, absolutely favorite pose to do for the crowd? Let's see it. Can you teach it to us? Muscles? I see a theme here.
I love it. I've got the question of the night for you, Bruce. Who's going to win this game?
I think that means
I think
Memorial.
he's rooting for the Spartans. What do you think, Ellen?
I think you're right, Jessa.
Well, we're not going to
Spartans.
keep you. I know you got a lot of cheering to do, so we'll let you get back there. We want to say thanks to Mike Canati for this quick break on a courtside report.
Colin Schaefer with a Zoop 3-pointer, his second triple of the 9. The lead is 10. The biggest of the night for the Cardinals has been 11. And by the way, you could catch this game and all the action at the Red Zone. Watch every game at the Red Zone Madison. Live music, all sports, and the best pub grub in town. The Red Zone on Regent Street.
Well, Elliot Graves here on this possession for Sun Prairie is doing a nice job of trailing his guy defensively, avoiding the backside pass cut back into the lane.
Nice pass up ahead from Johnson to Jansen. The connection is there. Nothing but Jays, but nothing but a dunk there. And wow, is this Sun Prairie team exciting. They can get off the floor in a hurry.
By the way, 4 of Taylor Jensen's 6 points have come on dunks, so just doing it the easiest way possible.
Now it's Marlon Ruffin. He blows the bunny back the other way, misses the layup, and a foul's going to go the other way. So Memorial with the ball, down 12, only 9.5 minutes left in this one. And I'm not sure where Memorial is going to start getting the points to climb back into this one, but they need it, as that is foul number 4 on Jalen Johnson. So the sophomore right now needs to take a seat, and maybe this is where Memorial gets back into it.
Well, you just saw him walk to the bench, and 4 fouls. He is in trouble. The Sun Prairie portion of this crowd thinking Ellingson might have walked.
It brings Delaware Hale back into the game. Hale looked good early on. Ellingson, nothing but net. His first 3 of the night, a Zoop triple and a quick timeout. Memorial trying to crawl their way back in. Sun Prairie up 9 here on 57 Sports. all of these great pictures and all of these games brought to us by A1 Furniture and Mattress. So again, big thanks to Paul Canarella at A1 Furniture for supporting high school athletics again and again. A1 Furniture and Mattress, they are your premier mattress and furniture store, and I urge you to visit them, buy from them if you like the sports that we're giving you here on 57 Sports, which, by the way, no one else does. If you like it, support our sponsors, especially A1 Furniture and Mattress. They've been doing this for years for us.
We appreciate their support, and we love doing this and bringing this action to you. Madison Memorial, they've lost their last 2 games. You might not know it coming into this game, but just to make note of it, their last 2 losses to La Follette and East, each decided by 4 points. So they've been close losses. They're trying to keep this one close as well.
Sun Prairie looking to build on a 9-point lead. Ruffin for 3, too strong, off the mark as here come the Spartans. They can get back into this one. It changed in the first half when Johnson got in foul trouble. We'll see if that foul trouble hangs over the Cardinals' heads once again.
Plenty of time in this ball game, and that's a big, big key for the Spartans.
Ellingson block, gets it right back. Serendipitous bounce for Ellingson and for the Spartans as the ball's going to go out of bounds. It was last touched by Sun Prairie. And holy cow, I mean, the action here fast and furious, and what a second half we're seeing as some of the scoring has opened up. But we're still seeing some of that tight defense, especially by Memorial. Timeout on the floor. Let's take one more with them, and it's a Monona Bank timeout. We'll be right back. Sun Prairie up 9 on 57 Sports. Look at the atmosphere here tonight as the fans going strong. I see right in the middle of that, there's Will Sprout. Hey, his dad is Greg Sprout, who is the editor, the sports editor of the Wisconsin State Journal. So actually a lot of media here tonight with radio stations, TV stations. Newspapers are here as well. Dennis Semero, our friend, here as well today. So hi to Denny. A lot of people out to see this game tonight, and the fans have been into it. There's a lot going on here in the second half. Technical fouls, dunks aplenty. This has been a pretty exciting basketball game.
I mean, the coverage doesn't end here. We're going to obviously talk about this in the sports news and everything coming up on our station, but there's going to be a lot of media coverage, recaps of this ball game, all the stuff that this implies for National Signing Day and also for the basketball stuff. It's going to be exciting.
Absolutely. 31-22 our score. The biggest lead for the Cardinals has been 11. Memorial's biggest lead has been 1 as they have really struggled to get it going, especially offensively. Rebound by Delaware Hale after all of that. And the Cardinals up 9 with the ball, looking to grow this lead. Again, their biggest lead has been 11. Marlon Ruffin, by the way, the difference here in the second half, all 9 of his points have come in the second stanza.
Ian Brown for the Spartans went up with his left hand and a layup on the other side. He's had some trouble with that layup on his left hand a couple times here tonight. Obviously points at a premium in this ball game with the score as low as it is.
Ruffin drives the lane, dishes, Stray, baseline, had to take it back out. Now he goes in the lane. Nice move by Marty Stray. That's a senior move right there. 4 points for Stray as the lead back to 11. And we go back to a sideline report right now with Ellen Barrett.
You guys said go.
That as Ellen, I guess, jumped the gun on us a little bit. So wait for your cue, Miss Barrett. That's all I can say about that.
And take off the jacket. Inside joke.
Absolutely. 31-22. Ellingson looking to get it going here in the second half. 14.5 points per game, only 4 so far, but he'll add a zoop 3 as it's Cade Ellingson who's going to have to get it going offensively if the Spartans are to climb back into this one. They're within 6. All right, one more time. Let's go back to Ellen Barrett and our sideline report.
Thanks, guys. We're taking another Mike Canati courtside report, and with me now I have Eric Nee. He's the Sun Prairie Athletic Director, and man, it has been a great night for basketball. I think we were counting. There's been 3 slam dunks. The crowd is going nuts, and this is a really big game tonight. Sun Prairie is currently ranked number 2 in the state for basketball. Madison Memorial has won conference the past 14 years. What does it mean tonight if Sun Prairie walks away with the W?
Yeah, anytime you can go on the road, especially a place like Madison Memorial, or any of the Madison schools, and walk away with a win, it's a big night, and that's a credit to this team out here on the court for Sun Prairie and Madison Memorial as well, too, Sun Prairie, over Sun Prairie, we had injuries at the beginning of the year, and the team kept battling, and they've battled all the way through, and really playing well right now, and it's just a fun atmosphere over here tonight between the Madison Memorial student section and the Sun Prairie, and the parent section as well, too.
Absolutely, and I know you were mentioning, Eric, how busy you've been, because there's a lot of sports going on right now at Sun Prairie, and I want to touch on those as well. What do you have to update us on?
Yeah, obviously we start wrestling regionals this weekend, boys swimming in sectionals. Girls basketball wins tomorrow night. They win conference outright. Hockey, playoffs start next week. So this time of year is an extremely busy year, especially when you have extremely successful teams like we do in Sun Prairie.
Sounds like it's a really good time to be a Cardinal. Again, Eric Nee, we appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we'll head back to the game.
33-25 our score right now. Memorial looking to make it a 2-possession, maybe even a 1-possession game. Oh, no, I'm doing my math all wrong. It's an 8-point game, not a 6-point game, Rich. Maybe back to high school for me, yeah.
Well, one thing that will not happen tonight that I can see is Sun Prairie winning by as much as they have. Over their last 5 games, they've won by an average of 33.4 points. I don't think that's going to happen tonight.
Not tonight, although it is surprising. You were talking to me before the game how Sun Prairie never made it to the Colt Center, hasn't made it to the field house. It's quite unbelievable, actually, as the three-pointer on the way is good. And look at that, Memorial finally starting to get hot on another Zoop 3-point play.
Yeah, Caraprezo now with his 3rd basket of this half. So he's got 7.5.
And good defense by Stray out there, had a hand right in his face, as you saw in the Bachman's Pools, Spas, and Saunas replay right there.
Well, you want to see a good game. This one continues to be just that. Memorial hanging around here, and a play like that will get you right back in it and make you believe just a little bit.
Double team now is Jansen, and he's going to have to call a timeout. So Sun Prairie up by 5 and a Monona Bank timeout here on 57 Sports. A lot of people talk about this Big 8 conference title streak that Madison Memorial has. It stands at 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points, 14 in a row. But the big money, the big prize is at the Kohl Center, and that's where Memorial has really established their legacy, something that Sun Prairie has yet to do.
Yes, Sun Prairie has never appeared in the state tournament for as many conference championships as they've won, and they've shared a couple. Madison Memorial, they've been to 10 state championships with titles in 2005, 2009, and in 2011 when they actually shortened the field a little bit in that year. So it's been a good run for Memorial. Sun Prairie hoping this is the year, and with as big and as experienced and as talented as this roster is, I don't see any reason why they couldn't make a run this year.
They have definitely had success in other sports. Their baseball team winning state titles, and I mean, they have had nothing but success in almost every sport lately. Highly ranked football team. The list goes on and on. But that basketball title has eluded them, and maybe with this combination of Ruffin and Johnson, they might have something this year.
And whichever team wins this ball game tonight, you will want to stick around for the post-game show. We'll hand out awards for the offensive, defensive MVPs, as well as the just big old trophy we give the winning team, post-game reaction. Be a lot of fun after this one. It doesn't stop when the buzzer hits.
Gonna love to find out what happened during that whole technical sequence that we had. And Coach Collins absolutely losing his mind over on the sideline, and probably with good reason, I would imagine, as Ruffin turns the ball over. He was surprised nobody was home, and it is much to the delight of the iced-out Memorial faithful.
And I think that's going to be one of the factors. If Sun Prairie loses this game, they've had quite a few missed opportunities and just silly turnovers like we saw just there.
Johnson on the floor with 4 fouls. You would think you might want to go right at him and try to get
Absolutely.
the big sophomore out of the game.
The crowd knows it.
Ellingson, 16-footer, no good, but a foul called for Ellingson, and he will head to the free throw line, as right now Coach Collins looking for the junior to make shots for him.
Well, Jalen Johnson is, at least on that possession, playing very conservatively, playing in the post, not really getting too involved in the action, and I think he's just trying to avoid that right now to get involved and potentially get in that situation. So at that point you ask, why is he in the game?
Ellingson good on the first one. 7 points in the second half, 9 points for Ellingson, who averages 14.5 points per game.
And I don't think anyone cares about their personal stats here tonight because no one is going to hit their season averages. But this is a ball game where if you're Sun Prairie, you just want to hang on. And right now, my goodness, Memorial battling back.
Ellingson good on a pair. The lead has been as much as 11 for the Cardinals. It is down to 3. 33-30 is our score. 3 minutes for the ball game and possibly the Big 8 conference title. Student section for Memorial trying to urge the boys in white on right now. Their defense has been very good so far tonight. In fact, both defenses have been Ruffin all the way in the lane. Finger roll is good. That was sweet. Ruffin has 11 all in the second half.
Well, notice after the basket, he had a fist pump, but he made sure to keep to himself. We don't need any more of the extracurriculars as we saw earlier in this half, and boy, has this been a dandy. And I don't use that term often, but man, this one it's a classic. This is one of our best broadcasts, certainly this season.
Absolutely, as Ruffin actually got fouled as well. I couldn't even hear the whistle. That's how loud it is in this building right now. Marlon Ruffin with 11 points in the second half, make it 12 as the senior looked cool as a cucumber going to the line right there and knocking down that shot from the charity stripe.
Well, if you haven't noticed, it is standing room only. Heck, we couldn't find a better spot in this arena, and this is Big 8 action, baby.
We're in the catbird seat here tonight, Eric. Just over 2 minutes left tonight. 36-30 is the score. Memorial taking a long time to get a shot off right now. They have got to play with more of a sense of an urgency than this on offense, as the ball's going to stay down here after it was tapped away by Taylor Jansen. But I would think if you're Coach Collins Memorial, you got to put some shots up.
Well, you also want to make sure they're quality shots, obviously, but you don't want to get to a situation where you're being so picky that you don't get a shot off and miss an opportunity. We got 2 minutes left to play here, boys.
Elliot Gray's silent here in the second half. He has the ball right now. In fact, Gray's with just 2 points on the night. Scoots along the baseline. This possession right now is over a minute long as it's tapped out of bounds once again by Taylor Jansen. This plays right into the hands of the Cardinals.
Yeah, they're just fine with it. You see players just kind of smiling there. You had Taylor Jansen tip the ball out of bounds, able to smile about it and say, sure, continue on. And in the meantime, Jalen Johnson's still able to stay in the game but not be in trouble.
Absolutely, is a foul and a silly one there on Sun Prairie, as that might send Memorial to the line. And it will for one in the bonus. So a bonus situation here, and that's a foul you don't want to do if you're the Cardinals, because now it allows. Oh, actually, we're not in the bonus yet, my bad. Thought we were lining up.
Well, I thought so too, but they had the board saying so. I guess that would be next time.
That's all right. We're back to live action. 90 seconds for the game. Memorial has to get a shot off now. This possession has just been way too long as a shot no good. Ellingson fighting for the rebound.
That's
nope.
what they couldn't
It is
afford.
Jalen Johnson. And boy, a lot of clock went off. Marlon Ruffin. Nice dish underneath. And it is good. The pass to Caden White, his first bucket of the night. And now the lead is 8. And now Memorial really needs to scoot.
Well, the Spartan student section said this was an ice-out game, and I think it's kind of going the other way. If you're the Sun Prairie Cardinals, you're icing this one right now.
Carapreso misses the putback. Ball's knocked out of bounds by the Cardinals. 56.1 seconds left. And Memorial in jeopardy of dropping their 3rd straight basketball game and not gaining a part of the Big 8 title for the first time in 15 years.
Well, and I was trying to call this one before the game started. I thought we were going to see Jalen Johnson maybe be the offensive MVP here, but so far it has been Marlon Ruffin. I mean, how many points is he up to? 13 now, or something
all
in
in
that
the
range?
second half as a three-pointer, no good. In the lane, though, Carapreso with the putback and a quick timeout as the juniors able to get that putback, keep Memorial alive for the moment. 38-32 is our score inside of 50 seconds for this one. We'll take a Monona Bank timeout. You were watching A1 Furniture and Mattress, Big Time Basketball, and you were watching 57 Sports. No bigger game in the state tonight. It has been a defensive battle. It was only 13-13 at halftime. Sun Prairie came out on a 9-0 run to start the second half, and so far that's been the difference because even though Jalen Johnson's been in foul trouble all night long, it hasn't mattered.
Well, it's that experience. It's spreading along all that sort of opportunities for some of your other teammates. Remember, last week, this was last Saturday, Sun Prairie defeated Beloit Memorial 88-38, and this is not that sort of game at all for either of these teams. And we're seeing defense sort of win out. Sun Prairie is taking advantage of, obviously, the opportunities they have from some of their other players not named Jalen Johnson. Memorial, some of those missed opportunities and some of the layups. Even though their defense, you got to give credit, this is exactly their game plan coming in.
Yeah, you would have thought that with the score the way that it is, that would favor Madison Memorial. It has not tonight, and now they are in foul mode, and Sun Prairie can finish it off from the free throw line up by 6. Remember to stick around. The offensive MVP brought to us by Premier Couture of Cambridge, and the defensive MVP brought to us by Little Stroke Swim Academy at Wanakee is going to be coming up. Jessa and Ellen will have that one, and we'll also have the big trophy presentation as well as Ruffin knocks it down, and he is getting closer and closer to that Premier Couture Offensive MVP award.
Well, he's got 13 on the night, as you've mentioned, all in the second half. He's hitting his free throws now. As I say that, I curse him.
Up 7 now. Memorial needs to score and score quickly. Ellingson, 3, in and out as he had a long one, nearly down. Jalen Johnson comes away with the rebound, and if he puts 2 down, that might do it.
Goodness, that was a shot that Ellingson needed to go down. He almost had an opportunity to shoot the ball right as the defender was jumping into it, but instead he let Sun Prairie's defender go past him before making the shot, and instead it ends up being an off-balance shot, and he misses it.
Jalen Johnson to the line, averaging nearly 20 points per game, only with 7 right now here this evening, but he's been riding the Pines in foul trouble for most of the night. Second free throw now is left short. Ellingson back the other way, and Ellingson is fouled, and that's kind of surprising as he'll keep it right here. Okay, Sun Prairie with a foul to give.
Well, I was going to say, if that's the situation we were sending Ellingson to the line, that makes 0 sense because that guy's a good free throw shooter, and you're giving an opportunity to get points while the clock is stopped.
our view of the scoreboard blocked here this evening, so it's hard to keep track of the fouls as Ellingson's three is no good. Sun Prairie with the rebound. It is Stray. He is fouled, and this one is all but wrapped up right now. The Sun Prairie Cardinals are going to win their 13th basketball game in a row. They avenged their only loss of the season, which happened on their home court against Memorial, and they are all but wrapping up a Big 8 conference title outright here this evening. Wow, what a night for Sun Prairie.
And when I find a good nugget like this, sometimes I like to repeat it. Neither of these teams, they have never swept a regular season series between the two teams since the 2013-14 season.
That's going to hold true once again as these teams know each other well. They have battled each other for a while to be at the top of the conference as Kara Preso's shot is no good. Ruffin has it. And now we are inside of 15 seconds. Coach Collins holding on to the ball, and he doesn't want to give it up. I think he's ready to go home with it.
Well, the good news is they're close to home. They can go right home after this one, and they'll be fine tonight. Sun Prairie, the long bus ride in the snow tonight, they'll be celebrating.
Absolutely, as well they should. A well-earned victory. Grays with a long three. That won't go. Out of bounds. And just a few seconds left here. The Sun Prairie Cardinals, the second-ranked team in the state of Wisconsin, getting a big win on the road here tonight at Madison Memorial. Our final score, 41-32. Sun Prairie is victorious. And Eric, probably the biggest win so far in the history of the Cardinal program.
And very unfortunate if you're the Spartans. You've had a great season. You've now lost 3 straight games, and you go from the 6th-ranked team in the state to probably unranked when the AP coaches poll comes out next week.
That's what it is looking like right now as all the fans starting to depart as they understand now that the 14-year streak is coming to an end. Again, our final score tonight, 41-32. It is Sun Prairie. Let's head on over to the girls right now. Take it away, Jessa and Ellen.
Thank you, Rich. Wow, just wow.
What a game.
That's a wrap at a big game, a packed crowd here. You might see some of them filing out as we're about to give away some awards during the post-game award ceremony.
Some big awards. I'm very excited. The Little Strokes Defensive MVP. We're also giving away the Premier Couture Offensive MVP and the A1 Furniture Big Time Basketball Trophy, and that's coming up after the break, so stay with us.
Back at Memorial High School, time now for our Lalo's Mexican Restaurant. Big time plays of the game, and there were a plenty here tonight. It got going with Taylor Jansen right there, and Jansen will be seen a little bit later on in these plays as well. Some good offensive basketball. There's Jansen throwing it down. Good offensive basketball that was set up by good defense on both sides.
A lot of good defense, and then you saw Marlon Ruffin. We'll see him a few times in this ballgame. Jalen Johnson.
Exciting player who spent a lot of time on the bench, and that was the play probably of the night right there. Marlon Ruffin's dunk, which led to a foul, a couple technicals. Coach Steve Collins kind of losing it on the sideline, and it might have determined this basketball game here tonight. What a beautiful finish there by Johnson as he really has some nice moves. And look at Taylor Jansen, his second dunk of the night right there. He was flying here tonight.
And that was a shot that iced the game because it gets a guy involved, Caden White, who didn't really do anything offensively for the rest of the game.
He did not, as it was not an offensive night, and you can't do a lot of offense when you're in foul trouble all night. Johnson didn't get a lot of offense. It doesn't matter as Sun Prairie is able to win here tonight anyways. Those are your Lalo's Mexican Restaurant plays of the game. We got hardware to hand out. That's next here on 57 Sports.
Oh, I guess we're on. Welcome back to A1 Furniture Big Time Basketball. Wow,
It's been a heck of a
been
game.
a heck
Yeah.
of a game. You can't see all the fans that are standing here, but boy, oh boy. All here to cheer for Sun Prairie Cardinals, who just took the W. We're going to give away some awards tonight.
We are. We're going to start with our defensive MVP on behalf of Little Stroke Swim Academy tonight. This is going to Taylor Jansen, number 11. A great game defensively. Congratulations. You played a great game. And we're going to have our offensive MVP brought to you by Premier Couture coming up right after the break, so stay with us.
Okay, we've got an excited team behind us.
We do.
We are
crowd.
back from break.
Great
Boy, oh boy, A1 Furniture Big Time Basketball. This might be one of the most exciting games of the season for us so far. We've got the Sun Prairie Cardinals who took the win. It was quite the game. We're going to give some awards away. If you're just tuning in, we just gave away the Defensive MVP award. It's time for offensive.
Offensive MVP tonight is brought to you by Premier Couture. It's going to Marlon Ruffin, 13 points in the second half alone. Wow, a fantastic game. Congratulations. And did you have a couple words you wanted to say? You guys have been playing great as a team.
I just want to credit this to all of my teammates and shout out to the coaches for building up a great game plan, and we executed and we got the job done. So thank you. And also thank you to you guys. Appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for letting us watch. It was a fun game tonight. Congratulations to you. And we're going to be handing away the big trophy of the night, the A1 Furniture Big Time Basketball Trophy, and that's coming up next. You're not going to want to miss it. Stay with us.
All right, well deserved. This team behind us is excited because they just won a big game, Sun Prairie Cardinals. And again, guys, if you're just joining us, I wish you could see all the fans that are standing here. Lots of traveling parents and fans because these guys deserve this win. Really hard work.
It's been a fantastic game. Your team played so well. So on behalf of A1 Furniture and Wisconsin's 57 Television, we'd like to present you with the Big Time Basketball Trophy tonight. We'll let you hold it up, Coach.
Thank you.
Basket of glory. Congratulations.
We're going to get Rich and Eric in here to ask Coach a few questions.
And Coach, congratulations on a huge win tonight. You know, I tell you what, if you would have told me before the game that at halftime your two leading scorers would have 2 combined points, that Jalen Johnson would be in foul trouble all night, I would say, uh-oh, it's going to be a rough night for Sun Prairie. But you told us before this game your team has played in big games, and they came up big in the biggest moments, didn't they?
Well, I think a lot of these guys have been in those situations before. They've played a lot of basketball. They played a year ago. They're experienced, you know, and I thought they did a really good job. Guys came in and did a good job, and they kept us in a position to where if we can get everybody back on the floor that we knew we would make a run at them, and we were able to do that. You know, so it's a credit to all of our guys, to our whole team, because a lot of things are done in practice that are carried over out here on the floor. I thought they did a good job of that tonight.
Well, it was a tale of two halves. The first half, very mellow. We talked about the energy level during the broadcast. And the second half just took off. But then there was that strange technical foul, shooting some free throws Ruffin did. Walk us through that. What was the explanation given to you?
Well, they got a bench technical on their bench. So Marlon drove and scored, so he got the 1. Then they have to shoot the 2 technicals, which he did do. And then there was offsetting technicals between 2 players, one from Memorial and one from Sun Prairie, so which evens it out. And then it's possession, and then we had the possession arrow, so we were able to get the ball and put it back in play.
From our vantage point, that was very hard to determine. What was not hard to determine is that you got one heck of a basketball team. Coach, congratulations, a well-earned victory against a tough opponent. We appreciate your time here tonight. Good luck the rest of the way. We'll definitely keep tabs on you. Thank you. Great night here for the Sun Prairie Cardinals. Winners here tonight at Memorial. They get the big trophy and most likely a Big A Conference title outright this year as well. For Eric Rogers, Jessa Jeremiah, for Ellen Barrett, everybody involved here tonight, a big thank you for watching as well. I'm Rich Reynolds. We'll see you next time on A1 Furniture and Mattresses. Big time basketball right here on 57 Sports.